shot to win the NFL MVP this coming season is not stopping bettors from taking a shot on him. Caesars currently has his odds of winning the award at 30-1. It opened at 75-1, and a lot of people obviously like the value because right now he is the most popular bet to win the NFL MVP award. Mitchell Trubisky, quarterback of the Bears, is the most popular bet to win NFL MVP. On that note, let me bring in Damian Woody for a little football conversation here. Good to see you, D. Wood. And let me ask you that. All that action on Trubisky in Vegas, what do you think? What do you expect from him this season?
I'm expecting a big year. And, Greeny, you got to look at the timeline of Mitchell Trubisky. You're talking about a guy who came out of North Carolina a couple years ago. He only started 13 games. So it wasn't a lot of experience coming in. His first year, he had John Fox that ran a real heavy run-centric offense. And then enter Matt Nagy into the equation, offensive-minded head coach. His numbers just popped in his first year under Matt Nagy. So you would expect in the second year in the same offense with a lot of the same pieces that they have on offense that this guy could really jump up to the next level as far as his statistics are concerned. And
a team that we expect to win a lot of games this coming year, and that always factors into this. But who's your under-the-radar candidate for MVP this year?
I got a name for you, Greeny. How about Dak Prescott? Okay, here's a guy. When you look at the trade with Amari Cooper, the numbers before and after that trade were phenomenal. You're talking about his completion percentage just jumped through the roof. Yards per attempt, third down completion percentage. All the numbers and the metrics just really jumped through the roof for a guy who was traded halfway during the season on October 22nd. So he's had a whole offseason to work with Amari Cooper and all the pieces around him. The offensive line is going to come back intact. Zeke Elliott is going to be there. The defense is pretty good. So Dak Prescott, to me, is poised for a big, big year for the Dallas Cowboys.
A sneaky good pick for MVP. All right, quickly, D-Wood, before I let you go, anyone who knows you are one of the world's biggest Laker fans. So give us a little sneak preview. What are you going to look like if the news comes down today that Kawhi Leonard signs with the Lakers?
Boom! Boom! I'm Greeny, I'm telling you right now, if Kawhi Leonard signs today, I'm going to flex so hard on whatever show that's on. I don't care if it's Sports Center, NFL Live, I'm going crazy. I'm letting everybody know right now because everybody's been talking bad about the Lake Show for years, and we back. We back, baby.
I tell you what, we're on this afternoon. If they sign the Lakers, I want D-Wood on the show.
Listen, I might drive down to Seaport if he jumps on, if he comes on. I'm telling you right now.
You're the best, D-Wood. Thank you. For your sake, I hope it happens. Thank you very much, and we will see you perhaps a little later this afternoon. Meanwhile, more on the Lakers.
Yeah, I wonder if D-Wood had the same reaction when they signed Jared Dudley to a one-year, $2.6 million contract. According to Dudley, though, the deal wasn't done until LeBron gave his approval. Take a listen to Dudley on Adrian Wojnarowski's podcast right here.
When it comes to the locker room, I control a locker room. I keep it upbeat. I keep everybody on the same page, and that's something I knew I could help with here. I knew with spacing, ball. So yeah, there was definitely communication. Once I got the okay from LeBron, when he signed off on it, hey, we're gonna make it happen.
When LeBron signed off on it, which is interesting. Richard, I'm looking at you. It was tough to tell as we listened to that if he's joking around or if he's legitimately telling us that LeBron signed off on this deal.
I think he's doing both. I think he's joking and telling the truth, right? I think LeBron James is now in a position, not that he's the GM, but he's in a position now was like, hey, what do you think we need? I've seen Tim Duncan at the back of the plane with Popovich during the trade deadline, right? Your best player, one of the smart basketball minds, it doesn't matter if it's Tim Duncan, Michael Jordan, or LeBron James, you want their input. And I think LeBron James watches as much basketball, and if he watches what Jared Dudley did for the Brooklyn Nets and the energy that he brought to their locker room and all the things that are said, I think that's one of those guys that you would sign off on.
Listen, I mean, I would take it a step farther, and that is that with everything we've seen happen with the Lakers over the course of the last few months, who is it you have more confidence in to be making good decisions right now with that organization than LeBron James? He's the only person who has proven he can do what it is he's being asked to do. Do you have more confidence in ownership? Do you have more confidence in people who are advising ownership? Do you have more confidence in the general manager, Rob Pelinka? LeBron James is the first person I would turn to when I'm making a decision.
And I'll say this is them starting to understand what LeBron James has always had around him. He's always had good locker locker room guys. It was Mike Miller, Shane Battier, James Jones,
Richard Jefferson.
No one cares. Channing Frye. He's always had good locker room guys that he could lean on, vets that he could talk to. I don't think he had that last year, so I think this is a great addition for them.
I'm just waiting to find out if he's called RJ yet with his
I saw the contract numbers, and I looked at what I'm making now, and I was just like, I need to come out of retirement. But, I think that was just one too many White Claws, and I'm done. I'm done.
Look, but going back to this as far as LeBron James goes in the front office of the Lakers, without question, first of all, every team, as you mentioned, if you have a star that is amongst the best and is dialed into the game as much as LeBron James is, you need to seek out their advice. Yeah. Hey, what do you need? You've been to the finals how many times? You've been to the NBA finals how many times? Okay. What do you need to make this work here? Because right now, whatever we did last year, it wasn't good enough, period. Even if he was healthy, it wasn't good enough to win a championship or compete in the West with the teams that they have. So you look at all the teams that we talked about. Utah having the best offseason of anybody. Warriors still have 3 All-Stars starting on day one. 4th one comes in back in late January, early February. Who do you have around you that's going to help you get over the top?
This was why I was very curious as to why they would not have just hired the coach LeBron wanted. My sense, sitting where I was sitting, was that LeBron wanted Ty Lue to be the coach of the Lakers, and for whatever reason, they wouldn't go there with him because either Phil Jackson or Kurt Rambis or someone else decided he wasn't the right person for that job, and they wouldn't give him the money that they were willing to give other people. I thought not to give LeBron at this stage of his life the coach he wanted was a weird move.
Look, they were 2 seconds away from being the Knicks, what the Knicks are right now. If LeBron James didn't say, I want to go to L.A., right, I don't think any domino would have fallen because you've seen Paul George wasn't going there. And so if LeBron James, which helped bring AD, and now is what is enticing for Kawhi Leonard, right now they had their young pieces, but LeBron James is the guy that made this entire thing happen. You should listen to his input.
Well, you could take that one step further. If they don't get lucky in the lottery back in May
with that
and jump up to the 4th pick, which remember, the NBA forced through lottery reform a year ago because they didn't want teams to be tanking, right? If the old lottery system is in place, the Lakers don't get that pick, and then they don't get Anthony Davis, and they don't get Kawhi Leonard. So, even with LeBron there, it wasn't a guarantee this was going to happen.
The other thing about this is from Jared Dudley's perspective, it's actually a vote of confidence to say, yeah, LeBron wants me here. Because LeBron is LeBron. And I think people forget that sometimes, too. They're like, oh, why would Jared Dudley put this out here? No, he's saying that guy, the best player in the NBA, wants me on his team, and they're building a powerhouse team, and he wants me there.
As a final thought I would add here, maybe part of the reason that I think people will be somewhat resentful to the point that Tim just made of the Lakers, if they do put this together, is that it all seems so lucky. Like they did nothing to earn it. Right? LeBron just decided he wanted to be a Laker for no other reason than he felt like it. So he was able to convince Anthony Davis to want to come play with him. Now Kawhi does. They get lucky with ping pong balls. They go from 11 to 4. There's a lot of luck involved.
There's a lot of luck in everything. The Warriors and what they accomplished, there was a ton of luck in that with picks and just injuries.
There was bad luck with
at the end, but in the beginning there was a ton of luck.
We'll take a short time out here. We have another very busy day. Remember, we're doing an afternoon special today. Meanwhile, tomorrow on ESPN, after a full morning and afternoon of Wimbledon coverage on July 4th, we have an Independence Day doubleheader. Starts at 4 Eastern, Cubs taking on the Pirates, and then you will see Bryce Harper and the Phillies battling the NL East leading Braves, and both games, as always, are available on ESPN and the ESPN app. And now I remind you that we are back this afternoon and better than ever. Special edition of Get Up, live 4:30 Eastern on ESPN. Will Kawhi Leonard have chosen a team? We'll talk about it, plus the latest from Wimbledon and who the U.S. will face in the finals of the Women's World Cup. Get Up this afternoon, 4:30 Eastern on ESPN.
It's the 4th of July sale at Ace.
The perfect time to buy a grill from our exclusive